Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, trying of all ages. It is the Dear UG here, and we're here to review Monday Night Raw from February 22nd, aka last night. Of course, it is the first Raw after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And let's start off with the big storyline that we have. It is, of course, Miz did cash in successfully, thanks to Bobby Lashley, which I'm going to get to that in a minute, and beat Drew to become WWE Champion. So congratulations to The Miz. I am a big Miz fan, as everybody knows. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are angry, so let me just tell you a few reasons why if you're angry, then WWE did its job. First, if you hate The Miz and how he celebrated after and did all the videos, that's him being a heel. And the heel is supposed to piss you off, and that's mostly who has successful cash-ins, usually are the heels. When a face cashes in, it's kind of, yeah. It doesn't work unless it's a specific situation. But hey, that's just me. And everyone's like, oh, he cheated, he had to get help. May I remind you, when Edge cashed in the second time, I believe he had help from Mark Henry, who beat up The Undertaker beforehand. And when CM Punk cashed in the first time, he pretty much cashed in on Edge after Batista beat the hell out of him on Monday Night Raw. So let's not act like this is not the first time somebody's had help before they cashed in, okay? Somebody beat somebody else up after a match or before, okay? Come on. Let's be realistic here. But anyway, apparently there was a contracted deal. Sorry about that. Getting a drink of, flicking something off my PlayStation. Anyway, so the deal was apparently Miz said, hey, Lashley and MVP, if you help me, you'll get the first title shot. Miz was trying to backtrack. That didn't happen. It is set for next week. Now, Strowman could have got in, made it a triple threat, but Lashley won, so it's remaining a one-on-one. Now, I'll admit I don't think Miz is keeping the belt long. I actually think he's going to lose it at Fastlane, because my gut's telling me in next week between Miz and Lashley that Drew's going to come back, because Drew wasn't on last night. Drew's going to come back, probably Claymore kick both of them, and the match either ends in a disqualification or no contest, one or the other. So I personally don't see the title changing next week. I think maybe at Fastlane it might. So there's that. Good storyline. If this is how they give Bobby Lashley the title, it's kind of disappointing in a way, because I remember Lashley in TNA, he was a dominant character, dominant wrestler. You know, he pretty much won every title there at one point, and he was a dominant world champion. He was pretty much, didn't speak too much, beat the fuck out of you, then leave. So there's that. Miz is a good cowardly heel. You don't see that too much nowadays. The cowardly heel who always finds a way to escape. It's usually a heel who's way overpowered, or a heel who, well, won't shut the hell up, or the heel who thinks, okay, I'm talking about Roman here. And I'm going to get to Roman and Edge in another video, because everybody who knows me knows I am not happy that's happening, but I'll save that for another day. Moving on, first match of the night was Matt Riddle taking on John Morrison. I don't like the way Matt Riddle wears the U.S. title, but hey, I guess that goes with his bro gimmick, which anybody knows me knows I hate the bro gimmick, because I hate people who say that word way too much. I feel like they're just from the Jersey Shore, and I just want to hit them with a surfboard, okay? It was a good match, though. Riddle is a good wrestler. I will admit that. He is a very talented, granted, I prefer Ken Shamrock contend to be 7 from the MMA style, not Riddle-ish. So, but Morrison did his job, put Riddle over good. That is the one thing I will say that's sad with Morrison. He comes back, and all he's pretty much been as excluding a short tag team title run with Miz, he's pretty much been the jobber to everybody else. So, kind of feel like maybe him coming back, he's probably regretting that. Yes, I'm sure he's making money, but he's really not getting pushed if you think about it. Yes, he's being used on TV a lot, but I can't remember the last time he actually had a successful one-on-one singles win. So, yeah. Moving on, may as well just talk about all the tag team matches together here. New Day versus Retribution. New Day won, no surprise. WWE hasn't really cared about Retribution. I think at this point they're probably going to break them up at a certain point, because you really haven't done nothing with them. And here's the thing. last year, before Survivor Series, Retribution beat Team Raw, so you would have thought, hey, they're going to push them. Nope. I don't even think they've even had a title shot yet. No one in that group, so it's kind of, you'd think at some point you would give them a title shot, but I think they're probably just going to end up being jobber to the stars in another few months. Next match was the Lucha House Party versus Benjamin and Alexandra, aka the Hurt Business. Tornado Tag Wars, no titles went out on one. Very good tag team match. Lucha House Party's been kind of surprising people that they're actually been competitive. I mean, I'm honest, I think most of us probably, when we looked at them, were probably like, oh, they're the jobber tag team. Well, not anymore. I could see Lucha House Party maybe beating Benjamin and Alexander for the titles, since we know they've hinted at Alexander being having a Napoleon complex. But we'll see what happens. I personally think I don't see Benjamin and Alexander losing the belts till Mania. No real point dropping them before then, particularly if you're going to have a crowd at Mania this year. So I'll probably just wait on that. Next, the two women's tag matches, because I do want to talk about them for a minute, because first one was Charlotte and Asuka versus Nia Jax and Baszler, non-title match. Asuka and Charlotte lost due to miscommunication. Asuka's pretty much pissed at Charlotte because Charlotte's been distracted. And then they had her and Flair backstage talking, saying, I don't need you here, go home. Does anyone really care about this Ric Flair-Charlotte Flair storyline? Because I'm sorry, I don't really care. It was kind of interesting with Lacey Evans, but since she's now been took off TV because she's pregnant, so congratulations to Lacey Evans and her husband having another child. But it kind of did hurt the storyline in the sense of, well, what are we going to do now? I would have been honest, and I thought they would have replaced, at least gave Asuka an opponent at the Chamber, even if it was just her dominating, at least give her something. But you could have put in Peyton Royce, since they were technically, she was teaming with Lacey Evans, but does probably throw a little bit of a loop for the women's title on Raw for WrestleMania. No one knows what's really going to happen, because everyone's already kind of probably figured out that it's going to be Belair taking on Banks for the SmackDown Women's title at Mania. Unless they change that, which they could. By the way, speaking of that, Rhea Ripley's coming to Raw. So we'll see what happens there. I don't think she's going to get pushed into the women's title shot right out the gate. I think they're probably going to have her ease into it, in my opinion. So as for the other women's tag match, Lana and Naomi beat Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. That really wasn't surprised. They've been pushing Naomi and Lana. I've already gone on record on many of my other streams saying Lana and Naomi will probably win the women's tag titles at WrestleMania to give them that feel-good ending, particularly for Lana, who's pretty much been bullied by Nia Jax for about the last 6 to 8 months. So they're probably going to give her that WrestleMania fairy tale ending, which I actually am okay with. I think that's the way it's been going, and it's probably the good booking decision. It is funny, though, if you think about it, Lana will win a championship in WWE before her husband does in AEW, so kind of hilarious. Next, it was Angel Garza taking on the Mr. Arrow Man with Bad Bunny. And Garza lost thanks to Bad Bunny, and I'm going to say this. I'm not a big fan of Bad Bunny. I know there's a lot of people who are, and if you are, I say good, cool, enjoy it. But between him and now Bow Wow is going to be being trained to be a wrestler. Why do I have a feeling when I see Bad Bunny versus Bow Wow at WrestleMania for the 24/7 title? If that happens, that will be known as the piss break match. I can guarantee you that right now. I will say for Bad Bunny, at least he's getting WWE exposure because he was with the 24/7 title on Saturday night. I'm surprised no wrestler tried to cash in on him, crash it, whatever. And most of the wrestlers, and I will say that's probably the one thing here, Bad Bunny does have his bodyguard / best friend, so it's going to be hard to catch him and get the belt. You're going to have to probably work with somebody else to distract the one to pin Bad Bunny, in my opinion. I think that's what you're really going to have to do there. So there's that. Next, Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy. Very entertaining match, I will say. Sheamus won, which was probably the right call. I will say, I know I'm not a big Jeff Hardy fan. I've always preferred Matt. But I feel like, again, I look at Jeff's another one of those situations to where they really, since he's come back, they haven't really used him to his potential. I think he's had maybe a short run as IC champion, and that's been about it. Nothing really more or less on that. Of course, the main event, like I said, was Lashley and Strowman. Lashley won. That gives us to probably the one thing that made me go, somebody was watching way too many Papa Shango Ultimate Warrior promos. Randy Orton saying he's still distracted but it's not by the Phoenix by Alexa Bliss. They show up, Alexa Bliss was in that little circle pentagram, and then Randy Orton puked up black blood. When I saw that, my first thought was, oh god, somebody was watching the Ultimate Warrior throw up when Papa Shango put the curse on him. Oh my god. Now, of course, I'm sure some of you are asking who Papa Shango is, and if you're not old enough, Papa Shango is pretty much the Godfather and one of his many different characters. Before he was the Godfather, he was Papa Shango and Kama. So it was kind of nice in the sense I felt like if you remember Papa Shango, it was probably a little nice, hey, Easter egg. But for others, it was probably like, what? Plus, yeah, I have a thing, and I've kind of said this for the last few weeks on my streams before I lost internet, that most likely it will be Orton versus The Fiend at Mania. I can't really see them not doing it at this point. I'm expecting probably The Fiend to return either at Fastlane, or B, he's going to return at Mania and do like a Undertaker WrestleMania 20 is the best way I could think of it, where they just build him up saying he's returning, blah, 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 and then he returns, and Orton will probably lose to The Fiend at Mania at that point. But it would be interesting to see what they go with it. I would say it's probably been the better storyline they've been doing the last few months on Raw. And you can at least, I would say, looking at Orton, because you can always tell with Orton if he's enjoying it or not, because we've seen in the past when Orton's been in matches where he's had to put somebody over, if he didn't really care, he didn't try. The Jinder Mahal one would be the best example. But then there's been other times where he's actually had fun with it and put the guy over. Drew and Bray would be most recent. So I think he's enjoying this. So yeah, Raw was good overall. I would give it a B. You know, wasn't an A+ show, but it wasn't bad. I mean, excluding the Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair shit, that's really the only thing I can say bad that I could have done without. To be honest, I don't even know why Flair's there if Lacey Evans is going to be gone. Unless you're going to have Ric Flair manage somebody else now, or keep costing Charlotte matches or whatever, we'll see. But yeah, Raw was good. I'm sure everyone's going to be surprised I actually enjoyed Raw, since everybody knows me as Mr. I don't like anything. Which gives me to something else, and this was already commented on my thing, you know. Because I did say Sunday The Simpsons suck, and I'm probably just going to ramble here a minute. I have not liked the last few seasons of The Simpsons. I've actually stopped watching. I didn't even watch all of last season because I didn't find them funny anymore. Tried to watch a new one, say, hey, let's give them a chance. Didn't find them funny either. I kind of was like, I don't see where the humor is anymore. I think at this point they're just becoming like memes and predicting the stuff that happens in the future. That's all they've been becoming. It's just kind of, I don't care. Same thing with Family Guy again. I've not really enjoyed Family Guy in a while until I started watching them. I don't think they're as funny as they used to be again. The older seasons were better. With, may as well just go through the other ones on Sundays. The Great North, which I did watch, I can get into it. It's not a bad show. It's not great, but it is enjoyable. I kind of liked it. And I thought it did a good job. And I do like Bob's Burgers, you know. Not every episode, but I do enjoy it. And then, of course, South Park, as I said before. South Park, I enjoy the older seasons more, but I don't mind the newer seasons, because the newer seasons, they still have that humor in the sense that they're trying to make somebody mad. I feel like with The Simpsons, they gotten away from that. Family Guy's definitely gotten away from that, in my opinion. And then, of course, American Dad, which I will say, out of the big family animated shows, Simpsons, Family Guy, and American Dad's the only one that's still funny, to me, personally. But anyway, let me know what you think of Raw. And do you guys still enjoy The Simpsons, Family Guy, or American Dad? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, have a good night, or a good day. I probably will be watching a movie tonight. I will post on Facebook and Twitter what movie that is. No, it's not Lupin the Third or the Banana Splits horror film. That one's still, the poll is up right now. The Banana Splits are winning at the moment. So, because counting Facebook and Twitter. But yeah, I will be probably posting a picture on Facebook and Twitter what the movie I will be watching tonight. And I will probably review that in the morning. But until then, have a good night. And have a great rest of your week.